Kurt, stop trying to chat up the mast. It's not a really tall woman, it's part of the ship. You're not even one of the ones riddled with scurvy and delirious. You don't have an excuse. Anyway, first course of action should probably be to deal with all the people riddled with scurvy. Last time, things went bad right at the end. Things didn't go bad when we basically gave all our weapons and prioritised someone who's not even part of the crew. But things did go bad when we attempted to cook some dodgy tins. Now, the big recommendation has been to abandon ship from many people, except for Cordell, which is probably part of why we haven't. I don't know whether I will this week. Part of me wants to see how long I can wait it out. There are still a couple of rooms that we could barge into. Potentially, what I may do is see if I can do half this week, get everything we possibly can from the ship, and then skedaddle in the latter half. As for the right new, yeah, that's a destination, but we're now... Okay, so we can only scout as far as this big chunk of ice we're on. I had hoped we might do some hopping, but who knows exactly how big these things are, so probably fucking huge. That's probably not actually feasible. Alright, well, let's scout in this direction a bit then. Sure, why not? Any of yous will do. Penguins? I don't really want to hunt penguins, but needs must. Be better to keep using the scouts, wouldn't it? Also, probably keep behind anyone with scurvy, as you might imagine. One Adelie penguin. What is that from? That's just an extra one, are we? Okay. So yeah, we're very limited on people now. Jeez. Higgs, you can go out there, I guess. We're going to need all the hunting food we can get at this point because our actual food is evidently not up to snuff. So that's all of you guys going out. Gnomes, Tucker, Quilsey and Yorick III are marked down to hunt for the week. Which leaves us basically no one for anything else, which is perhaps not the smartest move. S995 says salutation, hello. Salutation in return. Oh, we can still pet the dogs, good. You rub its chin. You rub its belly. You rub its... Oh no, you bark back at it. Okay, that's probably the better option. That young woman, Kasha, the flash of her camera has startled my dog several times now. It is growing tiresome. Have her killed. Are they yeah, the photographs at least good? No, she got my double chin in and everything. I do not care to ask. I'm already fully aware of how my dogs appear. Still, that camera is her sole purpose out here. As much as an annoyance it can be, it would not be right to rob her of that. Yeah, don't go robbing anyone, please. Especially at gunpoint. First things first, all the requests. I suppose it's probably smart to do that first. Find out what people's problems are. I can guess what 3 people's problems will be, but... Just Cordell and Grimley. Okay, interesting. Well, we were just talking to you, so let's carry on with that. Captain, thank you for building some proper shelter for the dogs. Oh yeah, the dog igloos. I appreciate the assistance from the crew. Well, the dogs are an important factor in this expedition. I'm certain you and your kennel will repay us in kind. Is that as cut off on the stream as it is on mine? It is slightly cut off, yeah. Apologies for that. I fucked around with the resolution. I thought I got it properly, but anyway. S905 says the salutation was unnecessarily fancy. Yeah, well, you know, this game is set in like the 18 or early 1900s. There's a lot of fancy talking folk. It's all in keeping with the vibe. You need not worry about that, Mr. Templeton. Again, thank you, Shaw. I feel like Grimley will be less pleased with us. Sure. Put a stop to those rumours going on about Hunt. That's simple. The sailors do seem to listen to you. Aye, you'll not be hearing them whispers again. Okay, not negative then, but abrupt and to the point, as is Grimley's demeanour. Captain, I would find it wise to have a word with the journalist among our crew. For whatever reason, Hunt allowed for a photographer with no sailing experience to tail alongside this expedition. As it stands, Cassia Belford's record is what will stand the test of time when this expedition is spoken of. And it would seem she has not made allies of the crew. Really? Is it necessary she make friends of the crew? She is here to record history. No, that's clearly a bit ignorant. I mean, she's actively interviewing some of them, and that's helpful for getting the perp off them. The purple. The demoralised purple. If she can interview the scurvy out of them, that would be even better. Yeah, she seems friendly enough. Not with purpose or malice, Captain. Who are they? I thought I knew all the crew by now. The sailors of this crew are a private lot. They do not take kindly to the prying eyes of a landlubber, as they would say. Remember, Captain, she controls the story. She controls your story. No, I do. Look, I'm the one clicking. Best to have a word. I'm not entirely sure what he wants me to do there. Just be chummier with the... or be less chummy with the crew. But then how's she going to record anything? Nah, you're fucking wrong on this one, Templeton. What, you got more shit to say? Remember, Shaw, reputation can be fragile. You do not need an unflattering image at a time like this. All the more reason not to piss off the photographer. Cock391 says, hi. Hello. I always feel like I should have more to say to those, but that's just how it is, isn't it? Hope you are all well. Tucker. Fucking hell. What's it this time, Tucker? These bloody cigs aren't worth the shit I stepped in. You're the only man I know who can step in shit on the ice, mate. Ha, bloody right. What? He found cigarettes by stepping in shit. Okay. The penguins have been stealing our cigarettes. So yes, please get cracking on someone, Mr. Doctor, because there's quite a few need seeing too. Instantly cure all crew in the medbay. All crew in the medbay, but we can only have one in the medbay at each time, unless we had got those upgrades. Fiddledicks. Yeah, he's also demoralised. I mean, but this guy's more useful. Let's sort him out first. So that will instantly cure him. Let's see how this works, I think, because it's not super clear. Cog391 says, I was making cappuccino and let the stream play, waiting for it to start, but I forget the phone was muted, so I didn't hear the stream has started. Ah, too bad. Yeah, obviously I've started late today, and I start late many times, but the idea is to both start on time and then do about 10-15 minutes of the intro, and then we get going. That feels like enough time for, people to turn up without taking the piss, basically. Right. I forget what his voice was. Thank you, Captain. They'll be ready to work again starting today. Is there anything like... Really? So he's just insta-cured, is he? But he's still here resting. Yeah, I can't move him out of there. Curious. But he is cured. Okay then, well maybe that's all we can do for now then. The days are kind of irrelevant because it takes a week at a time, so... Nolan Lemmon says, would you ever consider playing Kane and Lynch Dead Men or its sequel, Kane and Lynch 2 Dog Days? From what I hear, I think... Well, I don't hear it so much about the first one, but I know the second one is meant to be unfathomably bad. Like, just real dog shit, ironically. So in an ironic sense, it's possible I might play them, yeah. Depending on if they're just like... It depends if they're mediocre bad or like trainwreck bad. Because it's fun to watch a trainwreck. It's not fun to watch something that's just kind of mediocre. So, never say never. It would be my answer to that. I'd have to look into them a bit more, but... Can't even think what they would be on now. I think the first one was... They might have both been 360 era, I think. S995 says, you played worse. Have I, though? I think that's debatable. So hang on, let me just check the tinned goods that I just picked up, because if they are if they're all spoiled now, then it's kind of pointless getting more, isn't it? I think they are. Those were the ones I had. I used all of the ones in the last cooking, and now... Yeah, what even good are these for anything then? Why would you ever keep them? Okay, so I'm not going to assign anyone to that, because that's just giving people more of the shits. Pump floodwater out of the ship's cabins. See, it says cures crew of freezing, but it's not going to actually stop the ship from flooding. We're still ultimately going to have to leave. Can you interview someone while they have scurvy? Let's find out. No, he's invalid. He's invalid. Shame. Nolan Lemmon says both are a train wreck or a masterpiece depending on how you look at it. You'll have to pirate the first one since it's been removed from Steam. Really? Oh, that's a shame. Also, have you heard about how Gary Glitter has been released from prison and already violated the restrictions of his licensed release? I certainly hadn't heard about that, no. I don't even know enough to comment on that, really. He seems like he's someone who should have kind of been locked up for the rest of his life, I would imagine. S995 says, I wouldn't call the current game a masterpiece. Well, that is your right to have that opinion. You haven't liked most of the games I've played recently, but it is what it is. I find them interesting, so... Oh yeah, coal bunker. No expiry date on coal, which is good. So we could potentially have some people shoveling coal. Let's see how many of these rooms we can get into first, though. We did both of those. Science or engineering? We'll try the engineering first. With big old John. He's the best for busting down doors. Charge into the room. It's full of specialist tools and equipment. You have time to grab 2 items. Okay, so some of these have overlap in the same way that we could have doubled up on Lemmon's. The digging tools are there. Presumably these are the same. Yeah, pressure ridges and thick snow. The engineering tools, however. The furnace may be better maintained. But we're about to leave, aren't we? Although from the way they were talking last time, like I have to go to the furnace to signal abandoning ship. I don't know if it's physically possible, but part of me thought maybe they're going to try and take the furnace with them. I don't even know if that's possible, but... Apperton crates? Shipments of peaches. S905 says, I'm only like 7,000 days old. Our tastes could be different. Well, yeah, exactly. It's just one of them things. You know, I just stream whatever I find interesting at the time. I notice after a long LP of any particular game, I build up certain regulars, and then if I go back to like one-offs or shorter things like I'm doing at the moment, or I just start something new that is quite different, which is usual because I like to vary it up, I do usually see a massive drop off in views. So I've come to expect it, but I don't think I could maintain my own interest if I was one of these people who just play one game forever. You know, I've put like thousands of hours into Dark Souls games, but even that I couldn't keep playing forever. I certainly couldn't keep the commentary fresh, so you know, everyone do it a different way. They all have their upsides and downsides. Ale kegs of ale. Okay, so yeah, the interviews can cure them of demoralization. Also getting them pissed can do that. I feel like the peaches are probably a good shout. I feel like we definitely shouldn't pass them up. The furnace thing, shit, I wish I had clarified exactly what they're going to do with the furnace. If I could even find that out. Because if I get this and then we leave the ship and the furnace behind, kind of a waste of time, wouldn't it? Okay, well, we'll definitely get the crates. Oh, that's actually increased our maximum amount of food as well. Sweet. Booze or fuel. Both of these will make people warmer, but whether we want actual warmth or pseudo warmth. Yeah, considering I'm skeptical as to whether it's physically possible to like wrench the, like pull the furnace out of the ship's kind of, or whatever that is. I'm skeptical about that, whereas this, yeah, given my decisions, people are going to be demoralised at some point. Fuck it. Well, that's that then. One more room, the science room. We can do this and still have a couple of people left over for coaling, I think. Tashi's probably our next heftiest chap. The wooden floors and furniture have buckled enough to take apart easily. You also spot crates labelled as spare flags and luxury items. Oh, we only have time to grab one. Timber or luxury items. Alright, stripped for timber, worth a total... Okay, so more fuel. It's always good. It's never not going to be good. What are these luxury items, though? Flags, chessboard, and a football. They increase the maximum total decorum. I am always a fan of things that increase your maximum capacity. The only thing better than a full health bar is a bigger health bar, you know? I think I might go for that. As much as fuel will be an issue, we have another source for that if we can keep coming back to the ship to grab coal for a time. I don't quite know what we'll do after that when we're fully out on the ice, but this might be the only opportunity to get this sort of upgrade, so be it. And that actually gave us more decorum as well. Booze and toys. Now, who's left to have a crack at this? You two, one-armed and his son, and Cavity. Actually, I think we've still got the engineers as well, haven't we? Oh yeah, what the fuck? Get you guys on it then. Ricky Dick Flogs. Good-o. Oh, what's happening in it? Well, hang on, I just assigned you to the coal thing, didn't I? Or was that the other guy? When was the last time you slept, Chief? I got a good couple hours in a while back. A couple? You're gonna work yourself to death before we even make land. Heard that before. But it hasn't bloody happened yet. Back to work. Yep, sleep deprivation's getting to him so bad his accent's slipping. Yep, thing is no one is freezing, are they? So we're still good. I might even leave it another week. Just see if I can really... I'm worried that it's just going to be like, oh, the ship flooded, half your people died. But that doesn't seem to be happening. There's a lot of people worried about it happening, but it's not. Oh, I don't know. Time to feed the hoosh. Let's stick a couple of flares in there. That couldn't hurt. Okay, so we can put the keg right into the soup. If that cures thingy of demoralization without having to go the interview route, could be good. We'll try it. We got fish, we got, yeah, not the spoiled rations. Oh yeah, and this will cure all of scurvy, so one of those. And then... Where are the peaches? Where are our peaches? I thought we picked up peaches. We definitely did. Oh, I see. We didn't actually get peaches. We got the crates in which peaches were kept. But, like, particularly good crates. That's why that increased our total capacity. I see. Okay, well that was still worth it, I think. More or less. As for the rest, we chuck a couple of fish in there. Some cans of stuff. Oh, the fish are particularly good for the dogs, are they? Okay, well, we'll chuck another one in. There we go. Have a big old eat in, just because this might be the last time we're on the ship. Feed the hoosh. Hey! Hey! Oh? Only him? What about Thingy? Why didn't his scurvy get cured? Did you not eat, Lefty? What's wrong with you? You still got a tongue, ain't you? It's just your eye you're missing. Well, fuck. Maybe it's sort of randomised and it can only cure so many. That's a bit of a pish. Alright, well that I guess that's it, isn't it? Nothing else doing. What's scientist storeroom? Research papers and journals? Oh. 3 decorum as well as 1 research. Oh yeah, we're not quite sure what the research does yet, but you guys ain't doing anything, so fuck it. They take to emptying drawers and boxes of all the valuable research they can find. Alright. Do we have anyone? I think we have a couple of people left over. So, in theory, we should get them to doing something. But all the food is kind of spoiled, so what's left? More scouting? Maybe. But we've used up all the scouts, so... This is definitely all fucked food at this point. Hard to tell. Alright, well let's... Yeah, okay, so spoiled rations. Well, there's... What would be the point? Is there a way to make them unspoiled? Probably not. Fuck it, we'll assign someone to this. It doesn't cost us anything, I don't think. And if it makes things slightly less flooded, it's not a bad shout. Why not? Din-dins. S905 says, so how's Gotham, Bruce? Oh! I noticed the dinner sound effects are still playing over this horrifying image. So yeah, just proves me wrong, doesn't it? As clearly I was tempting fate with all the shit I was talking. It won't flood. It definitely won't flood. Everything flooded. Yeah, so Gotham is flooded, is my answer. Ah, fuck. Dinner is interrupted by a torrent of flooding. The crew are alarmed and all freezing. Oh, fuck. No, only 2 of them are freezing, actually. Will become frostbite after a week unless cured. And a week of frostbite and they'll die. Frantic arguments break out. Some even now insist on staying on board. No, most argue to take the furnace from the boiler and abandon ship right now. So we are going to take it, okay. It didn't seem physically possible to me, but... Well, at least we got everything out of these rooms, I suppose. How am I even able to come down here, considering what flooded? I don't know. Bloody cold, isn't it, Captain? Don't know how you spend your time away from the furnace. You grow used to it, you're used to the warmth of the furnace, I take it. It would be even colder without your hard work, Hammond. This is true. Aye, I know. Can't tend to the furnace if I'm yabbing to you, knight. Alright. Yeah, okay, so hang on, so the flooding's happened now. What happens if I pass the rest of the week like this? Is it just going to be worse? Thing is, I can now do... I can't do the pumps thing anymore, but I can do that to cure the crew of freezing, so... Oh shit, we needed engineers for this. And I set them all to the pumps, which was pointless because everything flooded anyway. Bollocks. Okay, okay, I'm going to risk it, and then... First thing next week we abandon ship. Because there really is no staying there now. S995 says it's Clint. Oh, one of the engineers. Could well be, yeah. Oh, I haven't given any of them a Russian accent, though. So as it is, they'll develop freezing. One crew member will, so obviously don't do that. Someone will be cured of it. Can we cure 2? Yes. Perfect. And someone will be cured of malnourishment. Let's go with that then. Oh, do I not have enough fuel? No, I don't. Right. Shit. I don't even have enough for that. Oh. Oh, shit. Haha, fuck. So someone else is going to end up freezing. Oh, ah. Well, that's all I can do then. So be it. Decorum going down. Gnomes Tucker. Yep. Dogs arrested. Yorick's freezing. Lefty died from scurvy. What? Shit. Oh, oh my. Oh no. Oh god. Everyone is frozen. That's a hell of a fucking update. God, the demoralised ones are the lucky ones. Lefty, why didn't you eat any of the fucking soup, you fool? Oh, he's just dead now. He's just fucking dead. There's a whole character in just gone. Speaking of gone, what the hell was that? Is everyone dead now? You can't escape. Okay, alright. Alright, game, I get it. Yeah. See, that's what I was afraid of, but no one said the ice was crushing anything. It was... They just said it was... Yeah, okay, I get it. They're all dead. You already told me he was dead. Yes, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I know. Yes, very, very dead. I get it. Please, yeah, she's gone. You, along with the rest of your expedition and your hopes of rescue, now lie at the bottom of the unforgiving ice. Why? What is this? I'm pretty sure that shouldn't have still been going over the credits. S905 says, you experiencing a pro gamer move? Oh, clearly, yeah. That was clearly an optimum strategy. Okay, alright, let me... Fucking... So we haven't seen this yet. When we first started the game, it talked about branches and everything. Helpfully, you can actually choose what week to restart from, which is nice, and I assume that allows you to possibly make all different decisions and see all the extra bits. So that never happened. Everything is in fact fine. Okay, so speed through all this. Dub 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 dub. Pet all the dogs. I don't know if this changes anything, but you know. Right, we still want our penguin people to get penguins, so of course we can do this a little better this time. Let's send you guys out. All the penguins. And that still leaves us people for coal and stuff. And we can cure him, so yeah, this should work. S905 says, I don't understand, Bruce. The credits rolled. How are you still doing this? Well, because, I don't know, I'm going to go for... It's only been 40 minutes, barely, so I'm not going to let that be the end. We won't see the end of this game, unfortunately, because, well, evidently there's, you know, it said 35 weeks, so it's a lot longer than expected, but, would you believe that when I checked how long to beat, it said 6 hours? So I got kind of fucked over there. I thought we might be able to wrap it up, but you never know. Never say never, I might return to it in future. Yep, shelter. Dogs are important, yep. Lovely. I stopped everyone talking about spooky things. No more spoopy. Oh yeah, and then you've got all your camera issues. S995 says turn it off, switch to Stardew Valley. I think I just explained quite extensively how I'm not a one game sort of streamer, so you know. Oh yeah, Tucker stepping in shit. Wonderful. Okay, so I could, in theory, put what's his face in the medical thing and then interview him to cure the demoralization, but he'll be cured of it anyway with the keg stuff. Although now we know what is going on with the boiler, I might not get the kegs. I might get the boiler upgrade instead. So let's actually put him in there. Cha-ching. Good. Yeah, so With the power of hindsight, I don't know why I would take a spoiled ration here, but it's free, so you know, maybe we can chuck it at someone. So, don't go to dinner. In fact, I'm not even going to feed the hoosh before we abandon ship. But we do have time to hit these rooms, hopefully. Yeah, that should be fine. Right, Big John, here we go. Clonk. So, engineering tools. Furnace may be better maintained. That sounds good. Max fuel increased to 120. Beautiful. And the crates. Max food increased to 120. Sweet. And we can bash this one in, hopefully. We're going to have to use the guy with one arm to do it. Hopefully he can still do it. Use your legs instead. There we go. Yeah, still going to go with this, I think. And obviously getting out of here before it floods will hopefully stop that big demoralization along with all the death. S905 says, is this like Fallout Shelter? In the sense that it's a survival thing. I suppose there are similarities, yeah. So I can assign this guy. I don't know if it will count sort of before, like if abandoning ship is going to cancel all this. Because I don't think we can do the coal or anything like that. That only ticks over. You only get the benefits from that at the end of the week. So yeah, that's oh, there was the science, wasn't there? Can't remember if that was instant or not, so chuck both of you on there. Cha-ching. Yeah, seems like that was instant. Okay, time to skedaddle. Okay, Hammond, abandoned ship. I hope you know what you're doing here. So, how exactly, if this is the furnace, how in God's name are we going to move that from the ship? Can you take a smaller part of it, or I guess we'll find out. Seems physically impossible. +1 furnace, okay. The furnace is torn from the boiler. I see, the main thing was the boiler, the furnace is just the front part. Okay. We're heading out then. Best tell the lads. We're moving out? Yes, captain's orders. For now, we should focus on setting up a campsite on the ice. Leave the equipment hauling for later. No worries, I'll get them to work. We'll have a camp set up before you know it. You're taking that with you? Aye. Can't go a day without it, can you? Oi, the crew like music. Fair enough, you better get to hauling them lifeboats next. They're a bit more important than an accordion. Aye, I know. Wait, I've made him Scottish now as well. Fuck. Off, says Stanbury. Calm, Stanbury, we're simply moving to the ice. Arf. Yes, it's all very exciting. If the rest of you behave yourselves, you will be treated to an extra helping of soup. Really? Where's that coming from? Well, there we have it. The heart of the ship ripped clean from her chest, but she still beats for the crew. It's not the time for poetry, Kurt. You're on death's door. How long were you waiting on that one? Well, because it was shite. No time for poetry. Alright then, clearly me and Hammond are on the same page. Captain, let's get this bloody furnace set up on the ice. How exactly is that going to work? I was going to say, will it melt through the ice? Obviously this is thick as fuck ice, but if we're there for weeks, it might... I have no idea. Alright. Yeah, furnace. Put furnace, please. Rescued from the Temperance to fly proudly at the edge of the world. Yeah, do that. What are you doing out there? Now's the last chance to get a shot like this. Isn't that dangerous? Don't worry, I've done it before. Don't tell the captain. Yeah, because when you did it before, you almost fell off. Okay. There, perfect. Farewell, Temperance. Captain, I hope your new lodgings are to your comfort. No. If not, I'm afraid you will have to power through until rescue. We say goodbye to the Temperance, but our work is far from over. Nothing to protect us from the ice now. We weren't going to get anywhere holding on to that anchor. And what's that? Yeah, I mean, this is my main concern. That is to be expected. The Temperance could scarcely protect us for much longer. Apparently not. I apparently had to learn that the hard way, but thankfully, through the power of time travel, it's coming across like, you know, uncanny foresight. You've done well to already strip the lower decks of the ship. Perhaps the wildlife should be our next focus. Regardless, we need our wits about us. We stand alone against the ice now. Yeah, how do you feel about that? Remember, Shaw, reputation can be fragile. You do not need an unflattering image at a time like this. You've already said that. Oh, and I brought my journal with me. Alright. Do we both sleep in here, or is this just me? No, this is my room, you're just hanging out in it. Okay, fine. So, this is the request tent. The furnace, the hoosh pot, and the dinner place. Camera girl, Kasha, she's got her own thing. The kennels are there. Scouting. Don't know what that is. Just generalised crew. Yeah. How are you going to dry your clothes out here when it's snowing? That doesn't seem to make any sense. And then you can still go back to the ship for now. For probably only this week, actually, thinking about it. Okay. Oh, this is the medical tent in general, is it? Photographer's just hanging out here. I see. You're not interviewing anyone at the moment. That's a concern. And I can't do anything with him either. Shit. How are you all doing at the kennels? That's very interesting. Fascinating. Where is Cordell then? She's still technically moving... No, she's moved them all, so... out and about somewhere. Oh yeah, I guess you guys aren't doing anything, so for the rest of this week, more grub, please. Very much needed. Observe the effects of the summer melt. I was thinking more about food, to be honest. But if hunting is not an option, then shut the fuck up. Guess we're not doing that then. Yeah, go a bit further. Try and find some damn food if you may. There we go. There's no one free for hunting, is there? Could make the engineers hunt. Fuck it, give it a go. You never know, you might like it. Why can I not send them beyond? Is it not enough? It says 1 to 4. No? Okay, fine. Just waste of time then, I suppose. Okay, so how is the furnace doing? Coal goes in, we stay alive. Really is that simple. Minus 17 degrees now. Fucking hell. Yeah, a lot of this is just going to be seeing the week tick over and what happens, basically. Any final things to grab? Sounded like an alarm going off there. Quick whip round. Aha! Strip for timber. Yeah, see, that is a good idea. Okay, but we only have the 2 engineers, so let's see what else is possible to do. Yeah, that's pointless. Also pointless because it's all spoiled. We got everything we're possibly going to get there. Even the red room's flooded now. Yep. Coal bunker. Coal. Well, What is better fuel, coal or timber? I don't know really. I might go for the stripping the timber thing just because I'm afraid, like, if I do that one, they might be trapped down there. Yeah, the boiler room's completely flooded, so I don't think we should fuck around on this floor anymore. Let's just have you guys grab what wood you can and get the fuck out. And that is everyone. So they... Oh, fuck. Because I haven't cured them as... Well, no, I can with the dinner, hopefully. It depends if they eat it or not, I suppose. I'm concerned. I don't want people to die. Best get to the actual Hushin then. Okay, so... Cures 1 person of scurvy, so if... That might be why, because I only put 1 lot of it. So if we do 2... In theory, that should cure 2 people, right? Fish for the dogs. More of that. If that's maxed out at 54, then no point going above it, sort of thing. Oh, hang on a minute. Let's take that out. Fish, 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 fish. Good. Okay. So yeah, the demoralization is the thing we can't sort out at the moment. I don't know what happens if they're demoralized for too long. They try and kill me, or they kill themselves, or just fuck off into the wilderness. We will see, I suppose. Healed scurvy, excellent. Really? So that doesn't increase the chances, even though I used 2 tinned lemons. Can I not add more to it now? Come on, you fucker. I don't want to lose Lefty. Have another fish as well. No, so I just wasted all that. Alright, well, I did everything I possibly could. Lefty is just doomed. Yeah, like, I could not do any more. Alright. The crew return to their posts despite the time. Oh yeah, it always says that. Evening. Oh, Kasha, hello. As you pass by, you see Kasha adjusting her camera as she stands, partially obscured as she finds the right angle for shots. As you step to her side, she raises her head and looks to you. What are you taking photos of? The crew, of course. This is quite the unique situation we're in. I want to capture the mood. Maybe I could place it beside our initial crew photos, compare and contrast. Oh, that's brilliant. You don't have to capture everything. You can join the others if you wish. Kurt remains in good spirits, I see. They may have stories to tell. So I didn't quite agree with what Templeton was saying, but like presumably he's saying it for a reason. So perhaps if... Well, the way he was saying it, it was like the crew are private. So is she better off just staying at a distance and taking photos, or can she effectively mingle? I don't know. Cash's eyes dart to the crew, briefly lingering on the statue of Kurt, then back to you. I think I'm better off in the background, taking pictures from a distance. Do you dislike Kurt? I would understand it if you did. Not at all. I don't dislike Kurt. Oh, it better not be the opposite then. It's simply that I followed Kurt's expeditions a lot as a child, so seeing him in person is odd. You're starstruck. I wouldn't put it that way. Well, I did, and I'm the captain, so you are. There's a common adage you may have heard, never meet your heroes. I've never heard that. I'd like to avoid becoming one who repeats that adage. That is true. S905 seems to be craving burgers and is just spamming burger emojis, so fair enough. So you're worried about being disappointed? No. Should I be? It's more that up until now he's been an idea. Does that make any sense? Oh god. Just PTSD to fucking Jared Leto's Joker in the Suicide Squad. That's not a reference I thought I'd be making with this game. Yeah, it's not really the time for a celebrity crisis. He's just a guy. He's just a big, weird, beardy guy. I suppose so. Well, I'll leave you be. I'm still looking for the right shot. Well, I don't think I achieved fucking anything with that conversation, but... story of my life. Oh, there you are, Cordell. Good evening, Captain. Will this take long? I've heard that before. The dogs are fed and rested, however, I dislike leaving them alone. You're overprotective, you've trained them well. Do you dislike leaving the dogs, or do you dislike joining the crew? Yeah, how do you feel about mingling? Might as well piss her off as well. Like, what's... Oh, great. Yeah, no, that's not... Fuck's sake. I hold no dislike for your crew, sure. I simply have no interest in their personal affairs. They are people. They seek their survival. That is all I need to know. Alright, fine. I'll just stop trying to do anything for anyone, shall I? Grimly, let's see if we can get fucked off with you as well, can we? Been trying to come up with a new song. Something about seals, I'm thinking. Kiss from a Rose, isn't it? Hard to think, though. Winds are too distracting. But I haven't had a new song in a while. Anything but seals. Come up with something away from the ice. Dugongs. Keep it light. I'm sure the crew would appreciate something jovial. I leave it to him. Don't tell them what sort of song to write. I suppose. Don't write anything down. It's just off the top of my head. Humble brag. Oh, more spotty dots. You get your photos... Oh, you snapped by that photographer too? Aye. She's a landlubber for sure. Treating us like we're some novelty. I don't have much problem with it. Good conversation, at least. I'd rather less good conversation out here. Feel like that should have had a follow-up. A little less conversation, a little more action, that sort of thing. And there I was, face to face with a leopard seal. Dangerous creatures, cannot be mistaken for your average seal. Natural hunters, much faster on land than you'd expect. How do you deal with that then? I was lucky I had my hunting shotgun at the ready. We were feasting on leopard seal that night. Of course, of all the times the crew weren't filming. Oh, how inconvenient. Ah, pull the other one. It's true. This other time we... Kurt continues to ramble on. The game mercifully cuts him short so as I don't have to keep doing that voice. He seems he will be at this for a while. What's going on with you, Yorick? A crew member approaches you during dinner. Captain, you look like you could use some more to eat. Taking up the responsibility of captain is admirable as it is unenviable. Please, help yourself to some of my own rations. Frankly, I'm stuffed. I've no time for toadying. You needn't attempt it. Thank you, but there's no need. Seriously, like, yeah, I've got to keep you all fed, so... Oh, someone's happy about that. Oh, well, the offer is always there. Yorick III returns to their seated position as others in the crew look at them with annoyed expressions. It would appear their attempts at gratifying command was unsuccessful. Well, it's more just, you know... I don't have a hunger meter, the rest of you do, so... Simple as that, really. Good to see you don't hide away from the crew in the evening, sure. Muttwash? Didn't know what to make of you at first. Yeah, I'm all over the place. Refer to me as Captain, please. I'd like to know more about my crew. I understand I'm hard to place. I don't know, we tried sort of probing before and he just kind of said, leave it. So, I'll just go with that. No doubt. Oh, he's now loyal. Sweet. But I'd say you place better than most. Wow. Didn't think he'd be the first to turn. We gained his loyalty over his brother. Oh, he's under specialist, isn't he? Although even Grimly could be a lot worse. Like, he's a long way off from loyal, but... The doctor ain't too pleased with us. Yeah, we'll maybe get there. Or I don't know, everyone will die, one of the two. Hammond? Bloody cold, isn't it, Captain? Don't know how you spend your time away from the furnace. Oh, that's what you said inside the ship too. Although it's a bit more pertinent now. Oh, what do you have to say? Good evening, Captain. It will be some time before we see rescue. Perhaps you should be endearing yourself to your crew. I was just doing that. But you are part of the crew as well, so let's hear about you. Really? That loses loyalty. Fucking hell. You needn't do that. I would prefer to continue with our work. Fostering personal relationships is not a concern. You just said it literally was. Why are you exempt from that? Because you're above everyone else? Well, that's exactly what's going to not foster relationships, thinking that. You might have a fancier coat, but you're in the shit with the rest of us. I can't remember if I've talked to Kurt, but I don't want to. It's as simple as that. So we'll leave it there. What's going to be really annoying now is if the ship doesn't collapse. Because that would just be incongruent with the seeming timescale. So someone's going to be cured of freezing, even though no one is, but that's fine. As long as they're not becoming freezing. Malnourishment. Yeah, but it's malnourishment's not the same as scurvy, is it? Yep, so Lefty's probably going to die. That's just the way it is. 5 Adelie penguins. Oh, Cavity's freezing. Lefty's dead. There we are. Oh, he's no longer demoralised. Okay, good. But he did lose 5 decorum. So is that what happens? They're just demoralised for a while and then it sort of takes away from decorum and then they're fine again. I noticed we also lost a shit ton of loyalty because somebody died. That's understandable, I suppose. From Junior and Grimley, I think. Oh, fuck off, game. That's some bullshit. That should be under the ice now. Hang on, what's all this then? I don't like this skull padlock thing. Oh, I see. It's talking about death. That old man, I was worried from the start that he'd get sick, but is that what will happen to us? Not as long as you've still got both your eyes. Old man, always lecturing, acting like he was a proper wise bloke. Might be the same around here without him. Lefty, that old man was talking plenty about the day when his time would come and he'd finally kick the bucket. I hope they're the same thing and not two separate events. Still, surprised it actually happened. Lefty was tough, sure, fought to the very end. If only he'd fought down more of the lemons. So we can't access the ship anymore, but it hasn't actually collapsed. Still not overly happy with that. Right, let's see what the requests... Oh, well, hang on, what's this first? Ah, Doctor, how are you holding? Up, usually, is how that sentence ends. Still finding yourself with bouts of sickness? No, that isn't a problem. It was only seasickness. Now that we're no longer at sea, my stomach is settled. For the most part. If you ever feel the queasiness set in once more, I learned an old trick in my travels. Simply close your eyes and count backwards from 10. It worked me a treat in my youth. Right. I'll try that. Fucking hell, Kurt. Oh! Oh, there we go, okay. Fair play, game. Continue to watch. That's my only option, apparently. There she blows. I mean, I feel like we should get on with something, but if that's all I can do. She's gone. Heads hang low amongst the crew. I can understand how that's demoralising, but also to be expected. I suppose rather than be demoralised than dead. Oh, chin up. It's fine. It's fucked. Take requests. Yeah, I guess. Oh. Hello, Stanbury. Do you have a request? Arf, 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 whimper. Give all the remaining food to Stanbury. Yeah, yes, arf. I can't even see him. He's hidden by the HUD. Should you not be with your master, dog? Please do not bother the captain. Apologies, sure. No doubt Stanbury smelled the scent of the latest catch on you. The latest catch? Some fish was added to stores, I take it? Stanbury has quite the taste for it. Are you suggesting we feed it to the dogs? If you wish, I assure you they have enough to eat, though. I'm certain the pack would enjoy that, but we cannot allow them to grow spoiled. Come, Stanbury. Odd creatures. No, they're dogs. Not that odd. Oh well. Yeah, we've learnt that they appreciate the fish scraps and whatnot, so if we can find any more. Are the penguins going to count as fish, or is that a different kind of meat? Technically they're birds, but they eat fish. If they eat enough, maybe it can't. Who knows? Hello, Kasha. Oh, and Hammond, invite yourself in. Why don't you? Captain, take a look at this. Before the ship sank, I was checking the cabins of, well, the missing crew. Got some really cool selfies in there. Look, I added a filter on this one. Seems they left behind a good amount of their belongings, a good few books and the like. Not much use for them now. Now. Jesus Christ. I'd put them at the top of the list to burn for fuel. We can't do that. Yes, we can. We are in need of as much fuel as we can find, Belford. You will need good reason to preserve them. These aren't simply novels the missing crew brought with them for leisure. They left their journals behind, their diaries, logs of their life on this ship and before. This can't be burned. Captain, I request that I hold on to these journals for use in my report. I think the rest of the crew would appreciate their stories being preserved. I suppose the sailors would not take kindly to the burning the remnants of their lost colleagues. Aye, but what else do we have? Not much else we can burn, is there? Well, we did strip the ship for timber. Then again, apparently that hasn't lasted long. I don't know. I think I'm going to let her keep them just because demoralization is already an issue for this week without adding more to it. No, lost loyalty with Hammond. Better find something better to burn then, Captain. We can't hold on to bloody well everything. Thank you, Captain. I'll ensure that their story is told as I die of frostbite. Exactly. Won't be able to do that if we freeze to death. Hello, Junior. Sure, I don't suppose you've been keeping track of the days. The game has, so yeah. Whoa. I have a general sense. Yes, that's true. I know that it's week 8. Well, you will be pleased to know that today is Imbolg. I am not aware of such an occasion. Not surprised you wouldn't recognise it. To us, it's a major holiday. Don't expect to ask the day off. No, Imbolg often comes with a traditional feast. I thought it might be good to hold one for the sailors' sake. If it's going to cure morale problems, then sure. Food is the thing we have the most of at the moment. There are no holidays on the ice you can celebrate when you return to land. Can't spare the rations. Yeah, they just saw the ship fucking go under the ice. That's maybe a good idea. For better or worse. Aye, I'll see to it. I'll make sure they have the best Imbolg feast they can. Weird name for it, I don't... Why are you still there? Like, hi Captain, just wondered if we could have another feast. I was investigating the tinned foods we picked up from the Temperance. I should have expected this, but the tins were spoiled in the flooding. Well, they were spoiled before that as well. Is it still edible? Are you serious? We cannot afford to be too selective. It may not be pleasant, but if it can be eaten without poisoning the crew, it may still serve as rations. Hard to tell for certain there. Well, it's certain to taste like death, but it may still be edible. The may in that sentence is not so comforting. Food is food, but I'm not sure it's worth the risk. What do you think, Shaw? Yeah, given how scurvy has already taken... Yeah, someone with scurvy dies after a week. Even if it is random, like it's only a 50-50 chance of them getting, or even less than that, I don't trust my odds. Considering we did it once and like 3 people got scurvy, so... Yeah, no. I suppose we're better off avoiding that. 1 tin of peaches likely isn't worth the risk of poisoning. Surprised I didn't lose loyalty with Templeton there. Minus 21 degrees. That's a balmy. What else can we be doing? Do you have any experience with cameras? No, but they can't be too complicated. Why, did you go and break yours? No, but I was wondering if something did happen, you would at least have some parts to fix with. Aye, I should. Question is if I want to waste good parts on a bloody camera. Spare parts? You're hardly going to be wasting them. What more could some spare scrap be used for? You have no idea. What? That was almost French. Jesus Christ. You have no idea. You stupid camera woman. Okay, let's move rapidly on from that, I think. Hello, kennels. Everyone good here? I notice you can just do this infinitely. Forever. Right. Can you still interview people? You can. Good. Right, we can help with the demoralization then on Summer Year. Well, I say that is who was it again? Oh right, now it's showing it. Yeah. Skylar, he's also freezing to death, so yep, let's sort you out. Good-o. And let's... Can the med bay cure someone freezing? I don't... Cured of all status effects by the end of the week, so I guess so. Yeah, no one's got scurvy anymore. Oh, and we can now fit 2 people there. Okay. It says all status effects. Let's... Not demoralization though, even though that is a status effect. Okay, fine, whatever. Yep, we'll do that. By the end of the week. So we could use one of those. I think we have 2 left. And that'll free up a person. I won't be able to do that. It seems we've run dry of medical comforts. Okay, Right, I see. I assumed, because it took 3 scientists to make them, I assumed we had a supply of 3. It takes 3 scientists to make 1. Fuck. Well, in a similar moral conundrum, S995 asks, would you eat a SpongeBob hamburger or McDonald's? Unfortunately, there's some ambiguity to the question there. Is that a SpongeBob hamburger or McDonald's, or a SpongeBob hamburger or a SpongeBob McDonald's? If it's simply SpongeBob branded, then I don't give a shit. The food is food. As for like literally any hamburger or McDonald's, I feel like the odds are in your favour with most other places that aren't McDonald's in terms of quality hamburgers. So, which is not to say I haven't eaten McDonald's and many times, but you just be aware that it's not high quality. Okay, well, we can potentially make more medical comforts if the scientists aren't doing anything else. We will check what else they can do, because options are limited now. Very limited, in fact. Hunt for fish. Sounds good. Oh yeah, they might want to do that. What is that going to get us? But this isn't animal resources, this is a science thing. No, not if you're not going to tell me what that actually gains. I can't... Let's go with the hunting, methinks. Let's send you chaps out. And fuck it, send the runty out as well. Oh, and there's one more, so send his dad with him. Or one of the scouts. Yeah, fuck it, send one of the scouts. Tashi, 2 Johns, Runt and Yorick the Third all go off for hunting. So what are the engineers doing? That's very, very little. There's no more coal to be got, obviously. Yeah, fuck, I guess just put the scientists to work on this then. Takes all 3 of the buggers, but worth doing. So have we instantly got that? Can we use that? Let's find out. We can indeed. Smashing. It doesn't free up the slot, but it does weirdly allow them to be assigned to something. So, you think the 2 wouldn't happen simultaneously, but here we are. There's not any other icons hidden about here, are there? No, doesn't seem to be. So you can in fact send more people scouting. And I might as well, because there's fuck all else to do, isn't there? So do that then. Send you out. And more penguins. Which he's demoralised, which is not great, but... Emperor penguins, no less. That's presumably going to be a lot more meat. And while we still have some people left, that is all we can do in terms of scouting and hunting, because we're running out of dogs. So I guess that's that then. Yes, let's feed this here hoosh. Some fish. Tinned food before that spoils. That's the last of that. The last of that fish, although we might have more fish hopefully. Yeah, do that and then we should start bunging some of this in the furnace, I suppose. Oh, I see. So you can feed it... Right, I understand it now. You can feed it to the hoosh or the furnace. So I guess that's what that's good for. You can either risk feeding it to people or get a very small amount of fuel from it. I'm going to go for the latter, I think. Small game. Hang on. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was maths and things. Right, we have 45 plus 66. So... numbers. Yeah, that's fine. But that's maxed out. Okay, good, good. Right. Right, I see. And the fish scraps that go to the dogs mean that you get them back available immediately. I see. Makes sense. Can't believe I actually lost track of the furnace there. Yes, probably a good idea, isn't it? Yeah, so at the end of the week, this will determine how much I have on the rations. Right. In that case, let's chuck those in there. +3. That can be burned for fuel. That's all good. Could burn the penguins, but I'm not currently going to. Last of the coal. Definitely don't want to have to burn the flares, though. More important. We'll leave it at 80. That seems healthy. Yeah, gonna have to really hope we find a source of fuel next week. Or else this could be rough. Alright. The crew have their meal. It was shit. Okay, yeah, that all seems fine. Just keeping everyone all good for the moment. 48 out of both. 4 fish, 4 emperor penguins. That's not bad. 2 Johns is now freezing, of course. So is Cavity. Didn't I just cure him of that? Oh, the demoralization is hacking away at the decorum. Everyone's becoming demoralized. Or were they already? And oh, fuck everything. It's not going great, is it? What was that extra -5 decorum for? Just because fuck me. At least give me a reason. Well, it seems that the crew are adapting nicely. They're not at all. They're demoralised and some of them are freezing to death. They're getting on with their jobs like clockwork. Feels like we're back on the open ocean again. What the fuck are you smoking, Kurt? They know we're in for the long haul. Well, I'll see to it that they're keeping up the good work. What are you even doing, Kurt? You're a navigator. Like, what? And you see to it that they're entertained when the work is done. Aye. You're short on words, aren't you? Prefer to talk through your music, eh? A sailor with the heart of a poet. Sure. Yeah, kind of on Grimley's side on that one. Hammond, what's happened to Hammond? You see Hammond hard at work on the boiler? Shit. Is there a problem? No force a habit. Don't need me asleep at the post. You need something, Captain? You should get some rest. We already heard the other engineer talking about how you haven't, like, been sleeping properly. If you die, we're all super fucked. I'm not mad, Captain. I get rest when I can. I know what I'm doing, sure, if that's what you're wondering. If you don't need anything, I'm getting back to work. Alright, fine. At least I didn't lose loyalty for that. You right, Nobbins? Let's get this over with then. Oh, just the one today, is it? Seeing as how the feast went really well last week, I was thinking we have another feast. Sure, got a matter we need to settle with you. Aren't you freezing to death? I don't see the problem here. Tucker was going through his personal belongings on the ship and we found this. A tin of treats, biscuits, confectionaries. Quite a lot. He should have a different voice. Now I was hardly hiding them away. They're just my own private selection, a gift from my grandmother before the expedition. Baked them herself. I understand you see these as your personal effects, and that was true at a point, but as it stands, food is food, and we need all we can. You cannot reasonably hoard it to yourself. They're hardly filling, they're just some biscuits. A couple of vol-au-vents. They're filling enough. Listen, now's not the time to keep something like that to yourself. I will not deprive my crew of their sentimental object. Tucker is free to keep the tin. Hold on to them, Tucker, but don't waste them. We could use them in a pinch. Ah, fuck. We're sort of doing alright on food, but I don't know. Shit. Do you happen to be one of the people who are currently demoralised? This will factor into my decision. You are? Then hold on to them, but don't just, don't do a mad cheese binge. It's probably going to lose loyalty with both of these guys now, though. Okay, +6 decorum. Course. But thank you, Captain. Oh God, are you Scottish as well? What? Trying to pick up on clues from the dialect and everything, but okay, well, short orders for the day, but that's fine. You've got to be interviewing the fuck out of people, I'm afraid. Every day. Yeah, doing that didn't cure him of demoralisation or anything. Tell her all about your biscuits. Yes, there is. You can cure these people of freezing. Definitely cure him of freezing. He's the muscle. We can't have him dying. Oh, I can put 2 in there now. Excellent. Do that then. And we'll see if the scientists are for anything else before doing the medical comforts. Everything alright in here? Everyone okay? So you guys never come asking about biscuits, do you? I'm sure you would if you knew that was possible. Cog391 says, kill all the crew, I like violence. Well, you should have been here earlier then. Because I did kill all the crew. But, let's go scouting out here, methinks. More penguins. I suppose that's fine. Sure. And more fish. Always good. I don't... Shit, we got no one really to send at this point. Send the engineers. They're not doing much else, are they? So, see how good you guys are at hunting. And then the scientists are kind of needed for the medical side of things. Yep, that's everyone there then. And I guess we're just going to have to be using whatever sort of animal, whatever we get through hunting that isn't food, that we don't use for food, we'll have to use for fuel. Because we'll be on the last of the coal this week, so... Ding, ding, ding. Yes. Oh, and that cures both of them, doesn't it? So that's doubly worth it. It's weird. It's only 1 medical comforts, which is weird. But, yeah, the only limit is the amount of beds you have for them. It's weird. I don't know. Oh well, we got more crew now anyway. We have used up all our dogs. So, I don't think there's actually anything we can put the remaining crew on doing, but oh well. Cog301 says, wait a minute, are these guys eat penguins? They are at the moment, yeah, it's about the only thing we're hunting. So no one's actually freezing now, but everyone is demoralised, so... Yeah, that's the last of the coal. Medium-sized game, 3 or 6. Well, kind of is what it is, isn't it? The fish are surprisingly good, I guess because they're oily. Is that what is considered? But then they have the added benefit of dog stuff, so... Chuck a penguin on the fire. That gets us to about 80 or 90, which is not amazing, but will do. Yeah, go with that. And then dinner. So even being emperor penguins, they're still only medium-sized game. They're not getting a huge amount from that. I guess that's how that's doing. So be it. And then, yeah, there's really nothing more I can do about the demoralization. And I bet a bunch of people are going to come back from hunting being fucking pissed off and freezing again. So I ain't got the option to do anything about that though, so... There's some goings on here. What's that? One of the doctor's books. Since when could you read? It's got pictures. That. Oh, I had them the wrong way around. I also forgot they were Yorkshire. You're interested in medicine, are you? A little. Better work than this, anyway. You ever get the feeling you're being watched? Sure. Couldn't shake the feeling there was a pair of eyes on me while I was working here. Yes, I'm sure there's a terrible undiscovered beast lurking in the mist. You're overworked. You should get some proper rest. The isolation might be getting to you, Hammond. Cog391 says, I think this is a good thing, so when the ice is melting because of the global warming, we don't have to worry about the penguins being homeless, because there will be no penguins. True. Although, in this case, I think this is, like say, 1800s or early 1900s, when global warming wasn't a thing. No, when it wasn't as bad. So all of these are kind of a bit piss-takey, but, yeah, I don't know if he is actually getting proper rest or not, so... Alright, fine. I feel like any of those options would have pissed him off. And I often can't, that's just how it is. Is he just going to die because of sleep deprivation? I'm going to call it a night. See you for breakfast. Well, that was a worthwhile conversation. Barely any taste of these fucking cigs. You mentioned before. What brand are they anyway? Apperton, same group who tins those peaches. Yeah, they're shite. At least there's plenty of it. Would rather there wasn't. You'd rather be craving at a time like this? Suppose not. There's just... I don't know. What do they know about tobacco? Fair point. Too rich to know a good cigarette. Their stock is in peaches, not in fags. I don't know. He stares at you before nodding to his sleeping bag. Used to be a hammock, didn't it? Oh, God. Evening, Shaw. I've been thinking about our pay once we return to land lately. Huh, don't mistake me for the avaricious sort, but I do have expenses to pay. Before we departed, I received a letter from one of my daughters, one of my many, many daughters, asking to cover the cost of her stage school. It would be a shame to promise a luxury only to retract it, don't you think? I wasn't aware you had a daughter. I try not to make uncertain promises. Do you not have enough money left over from your films? Yeah, aren't you meant to be big star? Of course! But I try to be more careful with my finances, Robin. Alright, don't come scrounging to me about it. The building next to my kennels would often play music on a phonograph. I would hear it through the open window. For months on end, I would hear it as I worked. Over time, I'd grown used to it. Do you miss it? Sounds like she does, but... Did they? Who knows? That is not needed, and yet I get loyalty for that. I would not attempt to impose in such a way. Fine, but overall a positive interaction, apparently. Reading, Mr. Templeton? Yes, though it's difficult to find light. Are you joking? It's said at the end of every week about how it's bright white out here. If anything, it's too bright. Like, white out is a thing. Do those your age still read, or has intellectualism passed us by? Well, I haven't read chilling horror like yourself. We're mostly on TikTok nowadays. Is that a collection, Mr. Templeton? It is a good read, nonetheless. Captain, if you find yourself stricken with boredom, I do have a book I would recommend. Nuts Magazine. A textbook on different classes of wildflowers. Oh, is that what they're calling them now? The topic is more interesting than it may seem, I assure you. Sure, like, I don't feel this way at all, but keep him on good side, I suppose. There we go. Just lying to people to keep the morale up. I will be sure to bring it to you when I have the chance then. I'll be sure to be asleep. Oh, I think that's everyone there. Oh, hello. Good evening, Captain. Was there something you needed? If you need the latest medical report, I'll have it prepared soon. Yeah, just, again, bullshit to them. You know, tell the clearly anxious guy that he's bedrock of, you know, stone cold focus and, you know, can't think of the word, decorum. Oh, thank you, Captain. One of these days, what they're going to turn around and go, "You're talking shit, mate." Good evening, Captain. I was growing used to sleeping on a moving ship before we became trapped in the ice, you know. Now I think I won't have a good night's sleep until we return to land. Well, we're all in the same boat, or not, as the case may be. A good motivation, then. I know a hot bath and a warm bed are the first order of business when we return to land. I may stay bundled up for several days, truly savour it. Yeah, that's fair. Don't forget to get the photos developed, though. That's quite important. Yep, they're all spent, so... Are you still, like, mid-interview? Yeah, okay. You're done with the interviews for now. Alright, then. Leave it there. Sure, seems good. Wait, hang on. Why not? Oh, okay. That seemed like a bug there, or I missed, or I didn't click something. But anyway. 5 Adelie penguins, 3 fish. Tashi's freezing again. So's Yorick. Jesus. Almost like we're in the Arctic. He's no longer demoralised, but that has taken a beating on the overall decorum. Fine. There's no avoiding that, so... That doesn't look good. That's actively widening, isn't it? Perhaps we should have set up camp a bit further away. How easy is it to lug all this stuff further away? That's concerning. Hammond and Kurt... Oh, fuck. Get you out of the way first. Captain Templeton, I won't keep you both too long. I doubt that. After dinner, we should have a discussion about the future direction of this crew. I suppose we should consider moving camp closer to the direction of rescue. Indeed. As for when that should be, well, we'll talk later. Very well. Oh, it actually was that. But he's threatening to talk to us again later, so that's not great. Days are getting darker, Captain. Crew's been asking about using more oil to fuel the lamps. I told them to piss off, but I figured I should ask you. Lamplight is not an unreasonable request, says fucking Lampy McGiggums over here. That oil's for the boiler. It's more important than making dinner brighter. It also makes it easier to do their work, Mr. Hammond. Aye, well, it's the captain's decision. Yeah, heat over brightness, I'm afraid, because, like I say, that was the last of our coal. This week we're going to be fueled purely on penguin blubber, so afraid so. Aye, I thought so. Now I can tell them it's Captain's orders if they come sniffing around again. Well, luckily we've kept decorum fairly high, so that's not a disastrous setback. Kind of wondering why no one's talking about this. These very prominent cracks spreading out from the ice. Seems like a bit of an issue, if I had to guess. Yes, we need to... Where are our freezing blokes? Someone else was freezing. Oh, yeah. There we go. Might as well. Cha-ching. Everyone healthy again. For a very short amount of time, I'm sure. So there's no one who actually needs an interview now, because they're not demoralised. So leave it, basically, if we don't need to. Everyone all right here? Good. So I've been heading in this direction because I thought we were still going to be trying to get there, but perhaps that's impossible now. I mean, it's more likely than there, isn't it? So, unclear. Yeah, we can't do that because they're all on the medicine. Let's check over here. More penguins, but big penguins, which is more useful. SteampunkZebe says, greetings. Hello. Welcome to Frostbite Central, where only some people have died, and not a frostbite yet, actually. The only person who's died has died of scurvy, So those completely unrelated. Research an ice crevasse. I should probably... Hopefully, if no one comes back freezing, we can start actually putting the scientists on these. I don't know what benefit we get from them, but we will see. More penguins. Why the fuck not? No. Because we don't have enough. We need at least 4 dogs. Shit. Okay, hang on. We can possibly solve this with fish. Big old penguin, lots of little penguins, and some fish. All the fish, I guess. Well, hang on. No, because now that's... Oh no, that's fine. SteampunkZebe says, if I had to guess, it probably makes Mr. Templeton happy. The research, that is. That's not a bad shout. Yeah, that could well be. What that does. Improves his loyalty or some kind of unseen meter with him. More penguin. They're going to be completely extinct by the end of this. Cool. That's all there really is doing. As is. Oh yes, and the furnace, of course. Well, I don't know what there is even to feed the furnace. I'm definitely not going to give them the lemons, so I guess it's just penguins. Shit, this is going to be a cold week, isn't it? Yeah, this is starting to look really dire. Grimly, what's going on? Nothing. Okay, well then why did you even give me the option? Junior, again, pointless. This one seems important. Ah, they're because they wanted to talk. You wish to speak with us, Kurt? Indeed I did. Have you noticed anything about the ground beneath our feet, Captain? Oh, well, they don't call him a navigator for nothing. It's not about to give way, is it? I try not to think about anything beneath our feet. Yes, please, get to the point. Oh, come on. That was reasonable. Alright, I won't try your patience. Only my vocal cords. We are looking at the early stages of this ice breaking apart. If we don't want to join the dear old Temperance, we'll need to be moving out within the week. Is that so? If we start packing from tomorrow, we'll be safe to move on at the beginning of next week. Any longer than that and we'll be dipping our toes into the water. Well, it is inevitable that we should keep constant movement. Even ignoring the changing ice, our rescue vessel will not be searching for us here. SteampunkZebe says awesome voice. It's certainly a voice. I actually worked out the other day where it came from. I sort of pulled it from the subconscious when I first started doing it, and then I thought about it and I realised it's from that Mitchell and Webb look, where they do a weird sketch involving an imaginary homophobic Gary Rhodes, and it's the voice that Robert Webb gives to that fabrication. So yeah, that was a hell of a thing to pull from, but that's what my mind found it from. Okay. No, we're not going to stay here. I've learnt my lesson there. Also, we're not going to keep finding stuff here, so we should skedaddle. I will, Captain. To stay is death. We're moving on. Thank you, Kurt. Have a good evening, Templeton, Captain. He's a pain in the arse, isn't he? Great. Well, let's see if we can even survive this week. Oh, hang on. Doctor, you seem worse for wear this evening. Sorry, I've not had much sleep lately. Something disturbing your rest? There's this really loud, annoying man who keeps asking me things. Just some bad dreams. A shame, a shame. Get some rest early, Arthur. I'll inform you if an emergency arises. Oh, thank you, Kurt. You can thank me with a good night's sleep. That comes across a little creepy, Kurt. You might want to reword that. Well, that's a fucking disaster waiting to happen. Let's watch the entire crew go down. Evening, Captain. There was a song that found itself stuck in my head earlier. It was, have you heard of it? It's Gangnam Style. No, the dogs were pleased when I began humming it. I fear I may have to make it a habit. An aspiring singer, are you? Certainly not. And yet, loyalty goes up. Do not hold any presumptions on my ability to hold a tune. Too late. You are the singer now. Grimly plays the accordion, you do the vocals. Well, we're good on the food front, but fuel is going to take a beating here. Steampunk says, howling with the dogs. Yeah, it's just... She goes to sing a song and it's just all... She just starts howling. It's like, oh, we thought you meant singing. And it's like, this is singing. Fuck, down to 12. 8 penguins. Runt is freezing. That's fine, he's a kid, he'll live. Tucker's freezing. He's been through it before, he'll be fine. Okay, well the ice hasn't gotten any worse. But we are going to fuck off. After a hard morning dragging the boats, the crew come across deeper snow ahead. Captain, the snow on the ice is getting deeper. We'll need to find a better path before dragging the whole crew through it. I'll be happy to take up the reins. Best we leave that to one of your scouts, Mr. Darling. The ice behind us is encroaching. We needn't lag behind a man with a cane. The old limp isn't that bad, Templeton. It's bad enough. Time is of the essence. Very well. You can't go wrong with my team anyway. Any one of them are capable of finding the path in the ice. Captain, if you want to judge the course yourself, you should go ahead with them. Ill-advised. We don't know what lies ahead. Best not to take any unnecessary risks. Yeah, you go ahead. I'm fine. SteampunkZebe says, I also gave Templeton the Snape voice. Yeah, it's funny that you picked up on exactly how that was, because you weren't here for the earlier ones, but I did literally say, this is becoming Alan Rickman, and that was not intentional, but just impossible to avoid, I think. And Cog391 says, do you have idea what the next game you'll play after this? I do. I am off for the next 2 streams, annoyingly, but as is consistent with my character, it's for dog sitting, so dog sitting for my parents. which is a worthy cause. And then I'll be back on the following Friday with a new LP, which I won't tell you, but I'm sure it's not all that hard to guess, considering if you know anything about release dates of games around that time. But anyway, it should be a laugh, and as I say, I kind of hoped we would wrap this one up, and I don't know, I saw on How Long to Beat 6 hours. I don't know, that was just wrong. But, you know, who knows, maybe in 6 months I'll come back to it and completely forget all the voices and whatever happened. But, fuck it, let's go wandering off into the wilderness as just shortly before we wrap up. This is a bad idea. Actually, you're a bit short. Let's pick one of the taller guys. He can see more because he's taller. You and Quilsey trudge your way further ahead, keeping an eye out for dips in the snow that could damage the boats. It isn't long before you both hear a sound from ahead where the ice is thinner. Maybe stop? The eggshell surface of the floes erupt, revealing a large slimy creature, mouth agape, with files of razor-sharp teeth expectant. Leopard seal! Told ya! Use the flares, use the revolver, use the bolt-action rifle. Well, damn. This is why we have the rifle. It's the longest range, I guess. If I hadn't gone with them, this probably would have gone worse. You grab the rifle and steady it as you aim towards the beast barreling towards Quilsey. Oh, fuck me, that really made distance quickly. The beast continues unhindered. Fear mixes with snow, freezing Quilsey in place. Okay, what is the distance here? Oh, Jesus Christ. If he's there, then I gotta be near him, so... What the fuck? Hang on. I know it's a big animal, but the scale here is ridiculous. Is this a Godzilla seal? Let's wait a bit. I figure one more movement is going to put him like there. Yeah, okay. He's gaining speed, closing the distance. No, I'm going to take the shot from here, I think. Because if I miss, there's maybe chance to get another shot in. No, probably not. I don't know. You're thrown by the recoil, having never fired a gun before. Great. Oh shit, I can't actually read that. It's cut off on the thing. That's annoying. Use something, something, the something, 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 space above the beast. As you fall back into the snow, the sea leopard approaching you as you collect yourself. That's very annoying. So some of this is me fucking up the resolution. Some of it is actually just poor UI design and on the game, because we have seen that earlier. There is now about 10 yards between Quilsey and the beast. Oh sure, let's keep waiting at this point. No, reload, obviously. This is not going well. You jam the bolt back and forth, reloading the weapon. Oh fuck. The animal charges into Quilsey, knocking them over in the snow. Maybe now would be a good time to shoot. If I don't hit him now, then Quilsey's just dead. Oh, fucking hell, game. Okay, something, something, leopard. Oh, something. Jibbity jab jab. Get a good angle with the creature this close. The bullet grazes the beast and it continues its charge. What do you mean I can't get a good angle this close? Or maybe it says I could get a good angle this close. I don't know. The beast sinks its teeth into a crew member, tearing red across the snow. They scream briefly. Reload? As in, reload the save? Oh, no, Okay. The commotion ceases, a morbid stillness emanates from where they went under. No! No! Kurt's shouts do no good. The leopard seal is gone, as is what remained of Quilsey. Was hoping we could at least get some meat from the damn thing. Quilsey! Templeton shakes his head. Tragic, but we cannot be left waiting. That creature may return at any moment. Let us press on, Captain. Yeah, well, F's in chat. Steampunk and regenbogenfan are already ahead of me there. Cog391 says, the something 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 part really hit me hard. I know, right? I just have an evocative way of telling stories. Well, shit. That was not ideal. A new camp has been erected, lol, on the ice floe. The prospect of land is still far off from here. Leopard seal done fucked us up. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I didn't realise that was a scroll bar. Okay. Quilsey was killed in the attack, ripped apart by the creature. Their death lays on my shoulders. These are the risks. Yeah, I feel pretty responsible for that. With more preparedness, with more action in the moment, this tragedy could have been prevented. The crew did all they were able. The fault here lies with the captain alone. Speaking of... tracks were found in the snow. A frozen coat. Proof that if nothing else, Hunt and his group were able to survive beyond the boiler incident aboard the Temperance. It is too late to raise concerns now. The crew may whisper, but Rufus Hunt is a dead man. I have to commend Hunt. He is much hardier than first believed. No judgment can be made yet. Yeah, true. We don't know what the fuck's going on. He could be dead. Who knows? The crew will not know their current state until they see it for themselves. Summer? By all estimates, it appears that summer has arrived on the ice. A prime occasion for hunting and a comparable respite from the truly freezing temperatures, the worst of which are yet to come. With the arrival of summer comes the promise of winter. Yeah, winter is coming. Enjoy this while it lasts. Prepare for winter. Yeah, probably that one. The navigator Kurt Darling carries the most experience in these extreme conditions and has seen the southernmost winters firsthand in his time. In turn, Chief Engineer Clive Hammond has a keen, focused eye on the crew's fuel supplies. No two best understand what will be asked of the crew going forward. They must be consulted before a decision is reached. I'm sure I will then. The Temperance went under, finally consumed by the ice. I should have known it wouldn't hold. I should have known. And the only reason I did is through time travel and save scumming. The Temperance was fitted with updates upon updates, but it was still the same old underneath that grandiose veneer. If its sister ship failed to complete its journey, it should have come as no surprise that the Temperance would fall in turn. Yeah, we fucked. Cog391 says, Quilsey was a good man. He was like a father to me. Captain, I can't believe that Quilsey is gone. That man has worked with me for so many years. He spoke at my wedding. All 9 of my weddings. He was the best man at 6 of them. I need time to think, Captain. Have as much time as you need, as long as it's silent thinking. Quilsey always had the best sense out of all of us. Hard to believe he's truly gone. Quilsey, you were my dearest friend. It pains me to never be able to say that to your face. I don't know what we would do without him, Captain. Well, I really fucked up the one I chose there. Although maybe they would have said that about all of them. The dogs have been on edge since that creature attacked. They prefer to be the hunters on the ice. Well, don't we all? Let's hope we never see a repeat of this situation. Yeah, you know. Couldn't sleep. Is there another leopard seal out there? Oh yeah, hundreds. That beast was quite the specimen. A terrible shame what happened. I wonder if we'll encounter another of its kind. Hopefully not, else we're all doomed. Captain? Yesterday. Not easy to think about, is it? No. No, I proper fucked up. Captain, it may be difficult to compose thoughts at the moment, but I think it's best we try to put that grisly business behind us. No, it's a seal, not a bear. This territory of ice we find ourselves on, it would seem we have our pick of the litter. This ice is teeming with life, life that has never encountered our like in the past. We'll be able to hunt to our heart's content. Spend a good deal of time here, cannot afford to get too comfortable. Until another leopard seal. Indeed, we will not be able to stay here forever. Kurt has been rather quiet since the incident. It's been an enjoyable tranquility, but my team were able to chart out the coming dangers regardless. This ice is not stable. Put simply, we have the dead ice encroaching behind us, at the risk of a pressure ridge bubbling up and forming ahead of us. We cannot stay for too long lest we find ourselves trapped here. Still, that is a worry for another time. For now, our main concern is the crew. How many weeks exactly do we have here, just so I don't fuck up again? They're shaken from the attack. Of course, but that is not what I meant. Your time as captain of this expedition has surpassed that of Captain Hunt, but that is not the case in the eyes of all. Sailor loyalty runs deep in their veins, as does alcohol. Take the Stoke brothers, for instance. They voted against you. They still speak of Hunt as the captain, and refuse that moniker on you. Every song that Elder One plays on his accordion, they're traditional songs of the sea folk. His loyalty to Hunt is as clear as day. I would be careful around those two. All that is needed is one insubordinate with enough pull to lead the crew astray. I am aware of that, but I'm doing my best to butter them up. I will be careful. I will not allow distrust sow among the crew. Yeah, we also can't be second-guessing people too much. Caution, but not paranoia. I'm simply stating what we should look out for. Yeah, no, I get that. Regardless, you have some requests to deal with. They're waiting outside. Get on with it. It's minus 30 degrees now. How is anyone alive? Oh god, you're a new one.
Captain, I have this bottle of wine in my personal stores. My wife and I plan to enjoy it on our trip home, but it seems that's much further out than when we first believed. So we thought, why not share it with the crew? Ring in the new camp proper.
Definitely not. I think, yeah, spread it out, add to rations, I think. No one gets shit-faced, but if we're all a bit merry, then it might help things. Cog391 says, maybe we should give the guns to someone who knows what to do with it, not for someone to fall from the recoil. Yeah, well, if that had been an option, I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe I shouldn't have gone, and actually one of the scouts going on their own. But then, would they have had the gun at all? Who knows? Technically, I shouldn't have had the choice of the revolver there either, because I gave that to Cordell, so... It's weird, isn't it? I thought I already had his loyalty. Okay, I guess I lost it and got it back.
I had hoped for more of a celebration, though I suppose it best we show restraint. Very well, I'll leave the bottle with our cook.
Plus 20 food. A bottle of wine equals 20 food, apparently. Captain Shaw, this area is teeming with life, so I keep hearing. Naive life at that. These creatures have never seen humans before. They do not even know to run. Some will even approach out of curiosity. In my opinion, we should be engaging in hunts as often as possible while we can. Agreed. Thank you, Cordell. Cordell exits. Well, I were going to do that anywho. Yeah. The ice doesn't look thinner here at present, but just keep an eye out for cracks, I suppose. Are you just waking now? Couldn't sleep. Scared of another seal attack, eh? Aye. Well, at least you're honest about it. I mean, anyone who wasn't would be lying, let's be honest. Yeah, well, you should deal with the freezing people. Jesus. So many dead. But we won't use the scientists in case they have a scouting opportunity. How be the dogs? All good? Excellent. Oh, I see. So we did... Wait, no. We're still on the same bit of ice, but that seems a lot closer now. I suppose the ice is drifting about or something. However you want to rationalise it. Fuck, yeah. Losing one of the scouts means less scouting. I, for some reason, didn't consider that. Yeah, go big on penguins. Or big on the little penguins, whatever. Oh, and seems that these are all hunting opportunities, none of the science ones. So, I guess we can immediately cure people of freezing. In fact, maybe we should do that first, before we send people out. Oh, hang on. Ding, ding, ding. Get to work. Cheers. That'll be all from you then. Everyone's as healthy as and alive as they can be, assuming they are alive. Yeah. Oh, fucking typical. It didn't show that before. Frozen methane. Is that useful? That could have been useful. Oh well, too late now. Is it because I did that one before? Oh, and now I can't hunt. Fucking hunt, cunt, bastard. Shit and piss. So much for that then. We should hunt as much as possible, and I've botched it. Oh well, so be it. Right, well, food isn't too much of the problem, so we just... That should do for those. I think all the rest has got to go on fuel. Christ. This is... If we use all our penguins on fuel... If we use a flare, that would be plus 30. But then flares useful, aren't they? Let's see what we can do with that, I suppose. It's not going to be enough for much, is it? Shite. Dinner is shared and stories are traded. Such as... Timmy, don't be wandering off. I'm fine, Dad. Stick close to me, don't know what's out there. I said I'm fine. You're not fine. You are a child. That was definitely Joe's coat we found, wasn't it? You think they're all still out there? I wouldn't be surprised. Hunt's tough for an old man. We don't know how long that jacket was there. Don't get your hopes up. Captain, tell them not to get carried away. We don't know. I'm not going to say any... As I said before, if I say he's definitely dead, he'll turn up alive. If I say he's definitely alive, he'll turn up dead. Exactly. Don't run wild with theories. Nah, that jacket means something. Could mean Joe froze to death. Or don't you have a sunny disposition? I'm being realistic. No? They don't call him Cavity for nothing. I don't quite know what I meant by that. You look a bit shaken, Chief. Worried about another attack from some beastie? Aye, more worried about one of them getting onto this boiler. If it's wrecked, we're done for. Think we should have an overnight watch then? I'll handle that. Of course you will. Get some fucking sleep, Hammond. If you die... Oh, he's gonna die, isn't he? Lost in thought? Oh god, I gave him goblin voice. I can't do the goblin voice at the moment. I'm losing my voice as it is. Our encounter with the wildlife has left me rather perturbed. We can only be thankful it didn't cause more bloodshed than it did. Indeed. I mean, there was plenty of bloodshed, it just most of it under the ice. Evening, Captain. Have you been reading that textbook? Oh yeah, love it. I understand if you do not have the free time. Yeah, that's it. I just haven't found the time yet. It's, busy with lemons and seals and stuff. A shame. Though perhaps a lack of free time should be seen as a positive. Productivity will stave off the boredom more so than luxury. Exactly. Sure. Heard the photographer call my songs poetry earlier. Never thought about being a poet. I can't even write. Music and poetry are similar. You can see the comparison, can't you? Writing isn't a requirement. Poetry is oral too. That's true. You're right. I've heard your music. Poetry is not the word I would use. Yeah, no, that can work. They might as well sing at that point. Are poets just lazy musicians? Well, you'd have to take that up with them. Whoever them are exactly. Come, Josephine, in my flying machine. Apologies, the tune has not left my head in weeks. At the very least, I have found a manner to calm the pack. You could make a request to Grimley. I'm sure he could learn the song. If it calms the dogs, then may that tune never leave your head. Classical training? Yeah, go on. Make a duet. She's not going to. If anything, this might piss her off. Oh, no, okay. Perhaps, but no, I will not intrude upon their nightly entertainment. I'm certain it is not something the crew would much care for. You're wrong. Sailors love an old sing-song. Doctor, how are you holding up? I saw you had a bout of sickness after the recent unpleasantness. Oh, well, it was frightening, but I actually planned on checking in on you. Me? Whatever for? Well, considering what happened. Ah! Put that out of your mind, Doctor. We all know the risks in this life. Yes, but you needn't worry about me. You approach and you notice Kasha following close behind you, a few steps back with some hesitation. Kurt's eyes catch you. He calls the both of you over, loudly. Ah, Captain Shaw, I was just helping our good doctor. Our first trip out onto the ice left him shaken, and I'm set to calm his spirits. Yeah. Fucking... Stop being so one note. Maybe that? take both of their minds off things. There's many different ways you could read this. Like, this could freak her out and she just won't talk to him now, but there's two ways introductions can go. They can make things worse or better. Oh, yeah, she hated it. Well, there was no need to say that, Captain. Fan sounds childish. I've simply followed your career for a long time. Like a stalker. Is that so? Well, I suppose you're a bit let down then. What? Earlier wasn't exactly what you'd expect to see from Kurt Darling, is it? Well, it's alright. We all make mistakes. Though not all mistakes are equal. My mistakes didn't get someone killed, eh, Captain? Quilsey, a good man. He spoke at my last wedding, and the one before that, and the one before that. He even spoke at my divorce. It isn't right. You're not to blame, Kurt. The ice is cruel. Yes, the ice did it. Blame the ice. None of these are me taking accountability, I notice. We have to work harder. Okay, this is a stupid one, but I'll go with it. Oh, apparently they love that. No, I should have known better. Kurt, it's okay if you need time to collect yourself. No, I'm perfectly fine. I can't let up now. But that's the last I'll hear of it. I'm going deaf. Well, back to work. Kurt slowly marches away, which is weird. That poor man. That's certainly one way to describe it. Overheard some crew talking about how they missed proper food back on land. Ungrateful bastard, should have smacked them. Huh, can't blame them though, we've been out here quite a while. You don't miss the land, do you? Maybe you should switch up the cooking. Well, that's not his... I'm only giving him penguin. He can't do much more with it. No, you can have fried penguin. You can have boiled penguin. Poached penguin. A penguin smoothie. Ugh, that's gross. The complaints are ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with your food. Do you miss the land? Not at all. I've no attachment there. I'm saltborn, more so than most. For me, it's the sea I miss. Well, don't start digging out of desperation to see it again. One of Templeton's team tried to talk to me while I was working. They were going on and on about their spouse or something. Ended up telling them to fuck off. Think they got the message. You could have been somewhat more diplomatic, Hammond. You have full permission to do so any time your work is interrupted. Come now, Hammond, are you married yourself? He'll hate this, probably. Yep. Do I look married to you, Captain? No, not to me, to anyone else. None of your business anyway. You can fuck off too, shitebag. Alright, well, everything's going great. Getting on with everyone, no disagreements. Regenbogenfan says penguin stew. Exactly. Penguin casserole. Sushi. Yeah. The possibilities are endless. Okay, that's all this from him. Well, I think that's everyone. And we will wrap it up there. Just have time to see everyone catch frostbite. Yeah, we have no fuel anymore. 5 Adelie penguins. 2 Johns freezing again. He's freezing his 2 Johns off. Runstar's freezing. Tucker's freezing. Fuck's sake. Everyone's frozen as fuck. Well, as I say, I have to leave it there, but oh, Oh, nice sort of sunsetty vibe. Or maybe that's sunrise, but oh yeah, probably is, in being morning and everything. But yeah, no, I quite like this game, and the story is keeping me intrigued, and yeah, I think the worst thing you can say about it is some of that UI design with the text cutting off is very bad, but a few of the plot decisions as well, as with all these sorts of games, the dialogue choices aren't always the most clear, but for the most part I like it. I won't say we'll definitely revisit it, because months down the line, who the fuck knows, I'm not good at stuff like that, but you never know. Keep it on the back burner. But yeah, cheers all for watching, and as I say, away for the next 2 streams. I have actually updated the schedule on Twitch to reflect that, but we'll be back the next Friday. So cheers all for watching, and don't ever be on a boat with me, I think, is the moral lesson to learn from this, because I will not abandon the ship even when it is actively sinking. Some would argue that would make me a good captain. Who would argue that? Me and no one else.